Have you ever heard of the government dropping a case against a civilian because they don't want that kind of smoke? You got to watch this film. What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of Filmy Thoughts. If you haven't already, you got to click that subscribe button, man. Please. I'd be greatly appreciated. We're going to talk about a very serious film today. It is called Official Secrets. It's starring Keira Knightley. It is a British film, and it's all about espionage and betrayal. But it's based on a true story, and it's very interesting. Very interesting. If you're into explosions and killings and horror and all of that stuff, this film is not for you. This film is not for you. But if you're into drama, true stories, a little love story in there, and the government losing in things, this film is for you. It is for you. So, again, based on a true story, this happened a couple years ago actually, and I found this film incredibly interesting. Straight off the back, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. The 5 out of 5 would have been a couple killings here and there, maybe a couple of explosions and a horror scene, but it didn't have that. So 4 out of 5, I think, is a fair one. It's gone kind of under the radar as well. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but I'm guessing it's not that kind of film. This is another film where it's more of a pensioners film. It's like the old people. Oh, love, what are you up to today? Oh, nothing much, Trevor. What do you want to do? Let's go down to the cinema then, love, and then we can have a pint kind of film, you know? So rather than going to bingo, they'll go to the cinema to watch this. This is more of an old people's film. And I say that because when we went, which was on a Wednesday, there was enough old people in there. Enough old people. So yeah, but it's a good film. The missus loved it. She loves espionage. She loves that stuff. And it was all around law as well. She's into law, so she's more than into law. She's dedicated to law. So it was right up her alley. It was actually her selection this time around. So yeah, I don't like the fact I have to say it's a good film. Usually she picks some weak films. Weak. Most of my 1 out of 5s on this, on Filmy Thoughts, has been down to her. I'm just putting that out there. Anyway, so yeah, this is about a woman who works for, she works for the government down in Cheltenham. It's not the UKGC. That's the UK Gambling Commission. But basically, she works somewhere down in Cheltenham. It's called the Donut. The nickname is the Donut. I can't remember exactly what it is, but she works there, and her job is to basically listen in on conversations to find out information, and report back to the army. So everything is within national interest there. And this is all based around the war on Iraq. So 9/11 happens and all that stuff. And the US as well as the UK are now trying to find a reason or agreement, should we say, for her, not her, for them to go to war. I'm getting there. Sorry, forgive me. So yeah, what they do is they ask, which is illegal apparently. So they actually ask those who work at the donut to listen in on some diplomats' calls in order to get as much dirt as they can so they can bribe them to vote for them to go to war, which is illegal. And Keira Knightley's character, she gets this email, and you know, her conscience is like, whoa, 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 whoa. That doesn't sit right with me. That doesn't sit well with me. I'm not really down for that. This is a time when the UK do not want to go to war, but Tony Blair has decided we're going to war. The US has decided we're going to war, and they need to make sure that they are going to war on legal grounds. And they need to make sure that everyone at the United Nations, the UN, votes to go to war. So this is why they're asked to listen in on conversations of diplomats of other countries that are part of the UN, so that then they can say, well, you know, if you don't do this for us, we're going to kind of leak this information in order to get them to vote so they can go to war legally. Um, so she basically takes that email, she runs to the tabloids, and she gives it to them anonymously. And this is then published. We still go to war, by the way, as you guys know, or you should know. We still go to war. But so that didn't work. But they found out it was her, and she's in trouble. She's in serious trouble. Her husband is an illegal immigrant, and he's waiting for his papers in order to be legal in the country. And they tried to deport him. They tried to make her life hell, basically. And rather than her take a plea deal and basically sit down in jail for a couple of years or for many years, she's like, nah, nah, we're gonna go all the way with this. And she's being advised many times that if you do that, there is a possibility you could spend the rest of your life in jail because you have betrayed the country. You know, this is a serious offense. She's like, all right, fine. I don't care. We're going all the way with this because it was illegal, um, and the war was illegal and all of this. So she gets a very, 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 very serious legal team behind her. Like, this lawyer was incredible. Incredible. He was just not having none of it. He was like, do you know what? You don't want to bury her, and that's not sitting right with me either. So I'm gonna do everything in my power to bury you lot. Right? So they go to court, and the government just don't want no smoke. They do not want any smoke, so they drop the charges on the spot, which is crazy. Can you imagine the government dropping charges against a civilian? That goes to show that they did not want anything to be published to show that it was a illegal war, and she just walks free. It was a dope film. I really liked it, and I'd recommend it. 4.5 out of 5. And I'm sorry for the stuttering a couple minutes ago. I need to go and have something to eat. You have a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and a wonderful night. Take care.